नमस्कार, आदाब, सत श्री अकाल और खुशामदीद। वेरी वेरी वेलकम टू ऑल ऑफ इट सेशन। दिस इज योर मास्टर टीचर हर्ष प्रियम, जो कि आज बात करने आए हैं दैट हाउ यू कैन स्टडी इन नॉर्वे एंड what are the pros and cons of Norway, the cost of living, the cost of study, the cost of education, and post your education, what is the job prospect there in Norway, what is the average salary payout, which different roles you will be having there, what is the job market conditions, job demands, and each and everything will be focusing here in this video. So if you have yet not stayed, subscribe to the channel. I would request all of you to kindly subscribe to the channel because you will get a lot of useful, beautiful, and worth considering content here on this channel. So make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Let's get into the video. शुरू करते हैं. First of all, that Norway is a country in Europe and it has got a capital, Vienna. Vienna is famous these days because of some other reasons as well. Some other reasons as well. Language is Norwegian. Currency is Norwegian krone. One Norwegian krone is equals to 8.52 Indian rupees. So currency is more valuable compared to Indian currency. Now, distance is around 7,000 kilometers from India. On an average, the flight time takes around 9 to 10 hours. India is 4 hours and 30 minutes ahead of Norway. Means Norway is 4.5 hours behind us. Now moving forward, now this information is very important for you. Now what is this information? In total, 10,282 third country international students outside EU and EEA came to Norway over the last 10 years. Out of total 43,451 international students. So basically in Norway, total 43,000 international students are coming, out of which 10,282 third country international student. Third country is basically a term called for those countries who are not so well developed, who are still in developing or underdeveloped state. Unfortunately, especially European people even call India as a third world country, which should not be, but this is what the colonial mindset still makes them say that. Now moving forward, the number was 747 in 2013 to 14, rising to 1564. Now here, if you'll see that all the country data, like all the data which is like here given. Now please pay attention that out of 10,282 international third country students, which is written here, India has, the number of students who went from India is 597, roughly 600, which is just 6% of the 10,282 third country international students. Now, if you take this 600 number from the number of international students, it would be far lesser. Means this gives one very strong preposition that here in Norway, the number of Indians are still very, very less, and there is a still very high scope of more Indians flocking to this country. Now, why one should do that and why one would choose Norway? For that, just see this. Here in Norway, the student dormitories, food and transportation, which is generally the living cost, when you combine all of them, it comes between 50,000 to 1 lakh rupees per month. This is in Indian rupees. This much amount would be required by you to stay in Norway. Now, this is a high amount, whether you will be able to make this much amount or not. So, the first thing, or in fact, the starting good part is that part-time options, earning options are available there. Maximum 20 hours per week, and according to the average payout what an part-time worker gets in Norway, you will be able to make somewhere around 1 lakh to 1.3 lakh rupees per month. So minimum of 1 lakh rupees you will be able to make in Norway while working part-time, and that gives you a strong sense that okay, even if you live lavishingly, like in the most lavish way, you would be able to cover your living expense just by your part-time. So this is the first good part, that your cost of living would be at par with your earning opportunities. First. Second is, what is the fee structure? So recently what happened in Norway, that public universities used to charge nothing. In Norway, the public universities used to charge 0 rupees absolutely. Fees was 0 rupees absolutely. But then what happened, that a lot of international students were coming. So government thought that Norway now charges non-EU, EAA and EFTA students tuition fees ranging from NOK to 80,000 to 150,000 per year, which is around 6 lakh to 12 lakh. You can say 7 lakh to 13 lakh. So 7 lakh to 13 lakh they started charging. Now, this is not the good part. So earlier the fees was 0. They started charging 7 lakh to 13 lakh rupees per year in Norway. Now, and in private universities, this fees is somewhere around 7 lakh rupees to 19 lakh rupees. Now, what happened? Norway's government reveals plans to cut tuition fees for international students. So, a statement came very recently that Norway government is thinking to cut down the fees for international students. Why did Norway start thinking on this? Because since the autumn semester of 2023, when students from outside the EU or this first had to pay student fees, which at least covers the cost of their education, the number of these international students coming to Norway has fallen by around 80%. So what happened? In 2023, for the first time, government of Norway introduced this rule that they will have to pay, like not the government, but the universities, the public universities of the Norway introduced this rule that you'll have to pay somewhere between 7 lakh rupees to 13 lakh rupees per year for your education. Now, the moment they brought this rule, and in the 2023 semester, autumn semester, first semester when they had to pay this amount, almost 80% students did not pay this amount. So this means that they discontinued their education. So this actually shows the Norway government that there is a dip of 80% students who are not coming from EU. So there is a dip of 80% students in international studying zone. So this actually, now instead the government is proposing to remove the requirement that tuition fees must at least covers cost. So this actually forced the government to rethink on this decision and bring down the cost of education, because of which a lot of international students were coming. And this was not, this was this is not a not a strain on their economy. Rather, this is a boon for their economy. Now, why am I saying this? Because if international student goes to Norway and studies there for 4 years, there is a high chance that international student would stay in Norway. And if students are increasing in Norway, that is increasing its working population. If the Norway's working population is increasing, that will increase its GDP and hence economy. So right now Norway is in dire need of having international students. So at this moment, having 80% students leaving the university is not at all a good sign. And that is why the government has been forced to take this decision or think on this decision, that whether they have to keep this tuition fees on or they want to remove the barrier of tuition fees, which was earlier the case. Now, moving forward, there are a few top universities in Norway which I am going to list down here. So QS World Ranking 119 is University of Oslo, 264 is Norwegian University of Science and Technology, 291 is University of Bergen, 621 to 630 is UiT, the Arctic University of Norway. Now, till here, the top 4 universities, the top 3 universities, in fact, these universities are in somewhat case a little better than Indian universities. Not comparing with IITs, because IITs do have a better ranking, but Delhi University or something of that sort, it is better than that. So you will have a better chance of having an international exposure from a good university. Although universities lesser than this might be easy to get into, but might not be that great. In fact, you will get a better university here in India. Now, so if you try for these top 3 universities, it can be a good chance for you to study at a very good university, and that too in international destination. Now, moving forward, so there is a scholarship provision also in Norway. Now, what is that scholarship provision? So Norwegian's quota scholarship scheme, what does it say? Aimed at providing financial aid to students from developing countries and countries in Central and Eastern Europe and Central Asia. The scholarship covers undergraduate, postgraduate and PhD. So UG and PG is covered. Recipients are selected based on academic merit and socio-economic background. So your academics and your need would both be taken into consideration. Must plan to return to their home country after completing their studies. So this is an important condition that has been marked here, that you will have to return back to your home country once you are done with your degree. Next is Norwegian scholarship. So this benefits are full coverage of tuition fees. So your entire tuition fees is taken care. Monthly living stipend of approximately 76,000 rupees, which will fairly cover your living expense in Norway. Travel allowance for round trips for your home country, and health insurance coverage. So mostly the things are covered if you get covered in this scholarship. Okay. Now moving forward, what are the admission requirements for Norway? So you must have completed secondary education, which is your grade 12th in this country. English proficiency test, Ielts or Toefl should be there. If your course is taught in Norwegian, you'll need to show Norwegian language proficiency, which is not the case for Indian students. Then the general basis for admission to universities and university colleges in Norway is called the Higher Education Entrance Qualification, which is called as GSU. Now, what is this GSU? Please try to understand here. GSU is General Study Competency. General Study Competency is Norway's system to check if your foreign education matches the high school level of Norway. Okay. Now, how do they do that? It is managed by NOKUT, which is Agency Quality Assurance Education, whatever. For Indian students, now please pay attention here. For Indian students, just completing class 12th is not enough. So, what needs to be done? You also need either 1 year of university in India or international qualifications like A levels, IB or AP examinations. So if you have done your 12th from IB, International Baccalaureate, this is also a board. So if you have done through IB or A levels or AP exams, then you are eligible to study in Norway. Otherwise, you'll have to complete 1 year of college, first year of college in Indian university. Post that, you will be eligible to study in Norway. Fine. This is a requirement. Next, educational requirements. One of the following qualification meet the educational requirements. All India Senior School Certificate like 12th issued by CBSE plus 1 university education. By CBSE plus 1 year university education. So 1 year university education is required. Indian School Certificate ISC plus 1 year university. Secondary School Certificate by NIS. So here it is required everywhere. NIS plus 1 year, ICSE plus 1 year or CBSE plus 1 year. Everywhere they need this. Then even from your state board, state secondary board, there also you need 1 year university education. Pre-university examination certificate plus 1 and then intermediate examination plus 1. So pre-university is PU examinations, which is generally in Karnataka. Now what is the cutoff, general cutoff for Ielts examination? It's around 6 to 6.5 in most of the top universities. Visa requirements, so they need a valid passport, visa application, admission letter from a recognized Norwegian institution that you have been admitted to that college. Proof of accommodation, you need to you need to book the accommodation before going to Norway. Medical travel insurance, proof of previous academics, all the required educational documents and proof of funds also. What is the proof of fund? So they need you to show 14.2 lakh rupees in your Indian bank account. This is not into 4, so this is 14.2 lakh rupees per year. So every year you need to show this. It's not that if you are going there for a 4 years degree, then you need to show 14.2 into 4. No, it's only 14.2 lakh rupees. That much you need to show in your account every year for the visa. Next, stay back period. So there is a stay back period. Foreign and international students and Swiss nationals can stay in the country for a duration of 1 year to look for an employment opportunity. So 1 year stay back period has been allowed for an employment opportunity. Post that, you'll have to convert your visa into work visa. Next, thereafter, what is the post study opportunities there? What is the payout? So in IT field, information technology, it's around 5 to 5.5 lakh rupees per month. Means annual salary, you can say 60 to 66 lakh per annum. 60 to 66 LPA, around that. Fine. If you go for engineering, it's around 4.68 to 5, around 60 LPA. Education, science and research, it is 3.62 to 5.96. So again, around 48 to 72 lakhs per annum. Healthcare industry is 4 lakh to 6 lakh. So 48 to 72 again. Finance industry is again 5 lakh to 5.5 lakh, which is 60 to 66 lakhs per annum. I hope you got that. So the job market looks promising here. There is no shortage of jobs, and in fact the payouts are also pretty decent. Now, what is the tax policy? And here this is the good part. So the salary which you will be able to draw is around 60 to 66 lakh, roughly let's say 60 lakhs. So if your income range in Indian national rupees in an annual basis 26 to 60 lakh, if this is the scenario, you'll have to pay only 4%. In India, if you are earning this much, you'll have to pay 33%. Really, I'm saying it. Although here we have differential tax pricing, but there is a slab of above 12 lakhs, you'll have to pay above 12 or above 18 lakhs, something of that sort, you'll have to pay 33% tax. Now, if you move above 60, in which most of the students would be lying, 60 to 80 lakhs, you'll have to pay 13% only, which is otherwise in India is around 35%. So here, the taxation is pretty lenient, not that harsh, especially for job people, and hence it's a good destination, good choice. Fine. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope I would have given you a decent amount of information, whether you have to go to Norway or not, and now it's your call. If you need any help from my side, I would be happy along with my team to give you that help. That help or that counseling, whatever you say, that is absolutely free of cost. Now, how do you need to avail this free of cost counseling? You need to fill out a form given in the description box. Just fill that form in the description box. You might expect a call within 48 hours. Why am I asking 48 hours? Because we are experiencing heavy call volumes because of free counseling service. So just wait for some time. You'll get a call from some of our partners who will be helping you with all the information, knowledge, whatever you need, either for Norway or for any other country. You can ask n number of doubts, whatever you have. Get satisfied with your doubts clarification. Thereafter, you can move on with your visa process or college application or whatever you want. Fine. So that was all for this session. I hope you loved and enjoyed the session. If that is the case, do let me know in the comment box. I'll be happy to know that. And with this, it's time to say goodbye. See you all in the next session. Till then, bye-bye. Take care. Good night.